Hey guys, we wanted to take this little bit of time to review the Picton Bay, Anchorage area. So far, everything's been amazing here. We're actually on a mooring ball right now, so we haven't actually anchored here. We're quite far into the bay, but there is an anchorage when you first kind of come in before you hit the marina. If you're coming into the bay, it'd be on your starboard side.
It's a big area too.
It's a really big area. We haven't actually anchored there, but we do know that apparently it's not supposed to have the greatest holding bottom. Basically, you're protected from everywhere except the northeast winds. So if you're coming from the north or for the east, it's fine, but northeast, you do get a lot of wind coming into this channel. Now, luckily, it hasn't been wavy or anything, but the first night...
I don't think it ever will. Too wavy.
No, it doesn't really get wavy at all. Right now, we're getting wind from the southwest. When we first grabbed our mooring ball, it was like extremely windy from the northeast, and even being on a mooring ball, it was pretty wild in here.
The wind was still quite vicious, but the waves that were
The one really big bonus that I found with this anchorage is actually that there's a public dock right across from us, and you can just dinghy over there and leave your dinghy there, tie it up, and you can
There's
walk.
surveillance and stuff. There's usually a guy that's checking out everything like that. It just makes you feel a lot more safe. Remember that any problems.
Yeah, yeah. So you just walk into town. There's lots of little restaurants here.
Great restaurants. Every place we've tried so far is really delish.
Yeah, and like we had to walk up to the post office, which is at the Rexall, and it took about maybe 15 minutes to get there. Just past the Rexall, there'd be a metro, so like 20-minute walk. You're at a grocery store.
Tim Hortons, past several restaurants, boutique shops and stuff. Like you're 10 minutes to pretty much wherever you want to go.
We say this every time we go anywhere, but everybody has been extremely friendly. Oops, it's really windy. Okay, so we decided to change spots to finish the rest of this video just because it's getting super windy up at the front. Back to what I was saying, I wanted to give a shout out to Michelle at the Picton Yacht Club. I called her the day after we grabbed the mooring ball because they didn't open until about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And she was so friendly and like very helpful, and I just told her, I told her about our situation and like what was going on, and she called the person who owned this mooring ball for me like pretty much instantly. She got back to me within probably 5 minutes, maybe a little bit more, but it was really quick. And the person who owns this mooring ball as well, I don't know the name of the lady, but they offered us to be able to stay here without a charge, so just because of what was going on. So I just like super thankful to everybody who has helped us. And there is also a gentleman that was in the dock behind us, I don't know if you can see, but anyways, he offered us as well if we needed to tie up to the dock to have like extra space to be able to work on the boat, to do that as well. And the person who has been working at the public boat launch, they've been super nice as well, offered us sandpaper when we were patching our dinghy, just like offering us to use the washrooms, just everything. So like I cannot express like how thankful and how nice just everybody's been. So that has been great. So again, I would love to come back here, especially under different circumstances when we actually here for more enjoyment, and once everything's opened up too, and we can actually walk around and shop and do a little bit of extra things. So
thankfully there still is a fair amount of stuff that's open, and there's a lot for us to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, with things being the way they are these days, there's definitely a little bit less selection, but it doesn't matter at all. Like Krystal said, this place is awesome. It's great. Everyone's great. Like there's lots of beautiful scenery to walk around. Like even if a single shop wasn't open, you could spend several days here just walking around and looking at stuff and taking it all in, and the nice anchorage. And you know, like I said, you might get a little bit of wind, but you're never going to get big waves. So every night you go to sleep, like you're getting nice, good sleep. It's very nice.
Yeah. And then the only thing I would recommend is to not come in here at nighttime. We did it, but it was probably the most nerve-wracking night experience, especially being our first time. But it's very narrow, so when it's nighttime, the depth perception's a little bit off as well, so it felt a lot more narrow than really what it was as well.
It still is a narrow entrance for sure, and like unless you have big spreader lights on your boat, or like a big flashlight that is able to provide a lot of light or whatever, I would definitely not recommend it at all, because there's a lot of things to hit.
And there's a lot of mooring, there's a lot of mooring balls. This yacht club rents out a lot of mooring balls for the summer, and I found them very hard to see at night. Like we were pretty much all the way at the end of the bay before we even found a mooring ball, which is what we were looking for. You could easily hit mooring balls if you're not paying attention, especially at night. And like the markers in the channel, because they're so close together too, it was really hard to kind of tell, I think, which ones were first and which ones were lining up with the other at nighttime as well, because it was such a narrow space. But yeah, so if you can avoid coming in at nighttime in the complete dark, I would do that.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't know about some of the mooring balls. Some of the mooring balls, oops, sorry, Dixie. Some of the mooring balls really close to the shore. I'm not certain of it, but they did look like they were a little more shallow and stuff. So if you do have like a 5 or 6 foot draft, I would definitely double check before you start heading towards those ones. All the other mooring balls, I'd say like the ones second row from the shoreline and stuff like that, I think you'd be fine even if you had a 6 foot draft. I think they'd be accommodated for most sailboats and stuff, which is awesome. And there's a fair amount of them.
Yeah, it's pretty deep kind of on the sides. Like we're pretty close to shore right now, and we're in about 12 to 11 feet of water, so not too bad. But yeah, anyways, that's Picton Bay. That's where we are right now. And yeah, love it. Highly recommend. If you've never been here, you have to come here. Picton has been amazing. It has so many different options for food, and like it's very just well-rounded, and I've really enjoyed my time here. So
it's a small town, but the quality is of a bigger town, like a bigger downtown quality for sure, even though it is a tiny town.
And everything seems to be locally owned too, which is like also I love going into places and not seeing chain restaurants and going to all like local places. So
and they also seem to be very good at using local produce and local meats and stuff like that. It's very, very supportive.
So yeah, so come here. We recommend it.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Krystal. And this is Alex. And this is our fur baby Dexter. Together, we bought a Tanzer 26 and are currently sailing on Lake Ontario. Subscribe and join us as we learn how to sail and fix up our boat.